Welcome to Yottalk. Today we're diving deep into something pretty significant shaking up the tech landscape. Microsoft's recent layoff, affecting around 6,000 employees.
Yeah, it's a big number, and it's more than just the number, really. It gives us a real window into the strategic shifts happening at, well, one of the biggest tech players out there.
Exactly. We want to get past the headlines today. We'll explore the strategic move towards AI, artificial intelligence, and what that really signals for the tech industry.
And for you, navigating all this change.
Right. Because what happens at Microsoft, it doesn't just stay at Microsoft, does it?
Not at all. Moves like this, they tend to ripple outwards. They influence how other companies think and act across the whole tech ecosystem.
So our mission today, unpack the main reasons behind this decision, understand how it's hitting different parts of Microsoft.
And figure out what it tells us about the future of work, especially with AI becoming so central.
We'll try to cut through the noise, focus on the key insights from what's being reported. Okay, let's get into it. The numbers first. Around 6,000 employees.
Which is roughly 3% of their global workforce. Now, 3% might not sound like a huge slice.
But in real terms, that's 6,000 people. That's significant.
Absolutely. It means major changes for a lot of individuals and families. And what's really striking is how broad these cuts are.
That's what I noticed too. It's not like they just trimmed one underperforming area. We're seeing reports of cuts in engineering, product design, marketing, even places like LinkedIn and Xbox, which you might think are doing pretty well.
Exactly, which really points towards a company-wide reevaluation, a broad strategic realignment. It suggests they're looking at everything.
It's not just about cutting costs and struggling corners. It feels deeper than that.
Precisely. It signals a comprehensive shift in their priorities.
And then there were some surprising individual cases reported, weren't there? Like Gabriela De Queiroz, the director of AI for startups.
Yeah, that one definitely raised some eyebrows.
Because, you see director of AI and you think, isn't that exactly where they're focusing? So what does that tell us?
That's a really good question. It suggests this restructuring isn't just about getting rid of non-essential roles. It could mean they're maybe fine-tuning their specific AI strategy.
Or consolidating teams.
Could be. Or maybe changing how they engage with the startup ecosystem, given her title. It hints that even within the big AI push, there's internal reshuffling and prioritization happening.
Okay, so let's talk about that AI push. Is that the main engine driving all this?
Overwhelmingly, yes. That seems to be the central reason based on everything we're seeing. Their huge partnership with OpenAI, for instance.
Right, and integrating AI like Copilot and GPT-4 into everything, Word, Excel, you name it, that directly impacts users.
And the financial commitment is just staggering.
Yeah, I saw figures reported potentially up to $80 billion in AI-related investments just this fiscal year.
$80 billion. I mean, that number alone tells you how serious this pivot is.
It really underscores the scale. This isn't a side project.
No, this is a fundamental redirection of capital. It's a massive bet on AI as their future. And of course, to power all that AI.
You need the infrastructure, the cloud infrastructure.
Which Microsoft Azure provides, but building all that tech is one thing. You also need the organization to support it efficiently, right?
Which brings us to the streamlining aspect. It sounds like these layoffs are also part of making the company, leaner.
Yeah, that's often a big part of these restructurings, efficiency. Looking at the org chart, finding ways to operate more smoothly.
And one way they seem to be doing that is by cutting management layers, creating a flatter structure.
That's the idea. Fewer layers, supposedly faster decisions, less bureaucracy.
How does that usually play out for the employees who remain?
Well, the theory is faster communication, more agility. But it often means middle managers are vulnerable in these situations.
Right.
And the remaining staff might end up with broader roles, more responsibilities.
It also seems like a shift in philosophy, maybe. Moving away from just growth at all costs.
Towards prioritizing profitability and making sure resources go to these strategic bets like AI.
Which might confuse people because Microsoft's been reporting strong earnings, haven't they?
Yeah.
Why cut now if things look good on paper?
That's a really key point. Strong current performance doesn't mean a company won't restructure for the future. If they see a massive opportunity like AI, they might decide they need to invest heavily now, even if it means cuts elsewhere, to ensure long-term profitability and competitiveness. It's proactive, not reactive to bad results.
So it's about positioning for the next wave, even if the current wave is still cresting. Makes sense.
Exactly. But that proactive positioning has a real human cost, which we need to acknowledge.
Absolutely. Let's talk about that impact.
Yeah.
For tech workers, Even at a place like Microsoft, which used to feel so stable, this must create a lot of uncertainty.
Oh, definitely. Even if your job is safe today, seeing layoffs on this scale can be unsettling. It shakes that sense of security.
And Microsoft isn't operating in a vacuum here. We've seen similar moves, big layoff rounds at Google, Meta, Amazon.
Right, and they're all talking heavily about AI investments too.
So it really does feel like an industry-wide reset, doesn't it?
It certainly looks that way. AI is being positioned as absolutely core to the future for all these tech giants. This isn't just Microsoft, it's a pattern.
A collective shift.
Yeah.
Suggesting a fundamental change in what skills and roles these companies are prioritizing.
Precisely. They're likely reevaluating their talent mix to match these new AI-focused goals.
Which then raises bigger questions about, well, the future of work itself and sustainability. Is it really sustainable long-term to scale up AI so aggressively while potentially shrinking the human workforce?
That's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? AI offers huge potential, no doubt productivity, innovation.
Right.
But the long-term societal and economic effects of displacing human workers on a large scale, that's still a massive unknown. We're kind of figuring it out as we go.
And there's the public perception angle, too. How do customers, stakeholders react if they feel companies are choosing tech over people?
Yeah, that's a real risk. Trust and reputation are huge assets. Companies have to balance innovation with, being seen as responsible employers.
It's a tightrope walk. They need to communicate why they're making these moves.
And address those concerns about prioritizing technology over their workforce.
So pulling this all together,
Right.
What's the big takeaway message from this Microsoft situation about the future of tech jobs? What should you, the listener, be thinking about?
I think it really highlights the growing need for skills that complement AI. Things like critical thinking, creativity, complex problem solving.
Uniquely human stuff.
Exactly, the things AI struggles with. It suggests a future where humans and AI collaborate. And crucially, it means continuous learning, adapting your skills is going to be absolutely vital.
The job market is definitely shifting.
No question about it.
Microsoft's restructuring, then. It's a really fascinating, maybe slightly sobering glimpse into the tech industry's current mindset. Priorities, challenges.
Yeah, this huge bet on AI is reshaping not just Microsoft, but the whole landscape. Innovation, jobs, everything.
It really shows that complex interplay between tech progress, economic pressure, and the human element.
Which is always there, even amidst all the code and algorithms.
It definitely leaves us with some big questions to chew on about where work is headed and what all this rapid AI adoption means for society.
And it underscores why we need to keep analyzing and trying to understand these massive shifts.
Thanks for tuning into Yottalk. Make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest tech stories. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed.